either a Confederate or American flagpole. In all, 5 people were injured and 13 arrested. The fight was captured on video by several bystanders and media members. Accurate, factual reporting. So we'll have a look at the video. It's only short, so have a look at the level of violence involved here.
Oh shit.
It was funny because there was a comment on this YouTube video that's the exact same thing, and I said, imagine how terrible of a world you have to live in to have something like that happen. How fucking terrible of a world you have to live in to feel bad for the KKK for anything.
Get away! Get away! We don't! Get away! I'm a black man! I'm here, baby!
It sounded like a white guy just said he was a black man.
It's alright! Get away! It's alright!
And you know what's funny? Is that the KKK...
They're just fucking sitting there beating the fuck out of us?
Yeah, the thing is that the KKK did a peaceful rally this time. Imagine what they're gonna do next time.
Get away! Get away! Get away!
If somebody ends up lynched,
Sir, don't hurt him!
I'm not gonna be surprised. Again, these people have no idea what they're talking about. Oh, we live in such terrible times. Oh yeah.
But
You just wait. You just wait, fuck boy.
With the victims there.
Why do you antagonize them?
Why?
They already don't like
This
you.
tiny group of people,
And
when
by
they push
attacking
the
them,
channels
you're
in
just
order to
making
hold their
more
own,
of them.
to spout morally indefensible bigotry. And as much as I
Jesus
disagree with what they
Christ.
have to say, I completely agree with their right to say.
Exactly.
And I think
Oh.
it
Look
is
how vicious
expressing
these people
this
are.
Exactly.
view
That's their
and their
entire
right
point
to
is,
publicly
oh,
make it.
niggers aren't
That
people
makes them
because
such
they're
a
so
small
vicious.
group.
What do?
But
You
unless
act
they are
like a bunch
actually
of
committing some
vicious
kind of crime
monkeys. So
or doing
now,
some
more
objectionable
people
wrong
join
to
them
someone
because,
else,
oh yeah, you're right,
there is
they
no
are
reason
vicious
to
monkeys.
punish them
Holy
because
shit.
punishing people
Literally
for thought
killing
crime.
yourself.
I'm speaking specifically,
It's
of course,
great.
of the
It's
vigilante
great.
mob who decided to kick them and beat them when they're on the ground.
It's gonna end up in a race
I
war
don't
this
think
way.
that is morally
is.
defensible. Especially as the
Fucking
protesters
hell.
were the ones who initiated violence.
It's great.
And by
great.
definition, this is bigotry. It's complete intolerance of these ideas. What I'm saying is that when you meet morally indefensible bigotry with more morally indefensible bigotry, you have just doubled the amount of morally indefensible bigotry. You haven't actually solved the problem, you've made it worse. You are never going to get rid of morally indefensible bigotry, so you need to confine it at as low a point as possible, and unbelievably, letting bigots speak is generally the way to do it. Basically what I'm saying is, free speech is the best system we have for keeping bigotry to a minimum.
Free speech.
And now I'd like to
No.
read a Times article, which
Gross.
is
That
Basic.
can't be allowed!
Of course
So,
not.
as I said, the beginning
Because,
of the
I
article
mean,
is factual.
why would we want to
It's all
uphold
factual
basic
information,
American
and
values?
it's
They hate
presented in
America.
a
Why would we
reasonably
want to do
unbiased
that?
way. Well, that's how it
America's this
seems, until
racist,
you actually
fucking
look at it
terrible
as
place,
if
so
you're
why would we
looking
want to
for
hold up
the
American
passive
values?
voice, as
Fuck
if you were
it.
judging a piece of literature. 3 people stabbed and 13 others
don't
arrested
worry.
when a Ku Klux Klan rally in Anaheim erupted
This
in
fucking
violence.
place
on
turned
Saturday.
into a third world
It
shithole that
erupted
wish
as
they had
if
kept their
this was a
goddamn
natural
monkey
event,
mouths
as if there is
shut.
no blame to be placed here. By 11 a.m., several dozen
By then it'll be
protesters
too late.
had shown up to confront the Klan. They've actually written a sentence describing a confrontation in the passive voice. These protesters had shown up.
You gotta
Not
love
that
this
they
subtle
arrived,
bullshittery,
it's not their
too.
agency. And this is symptomatic through the entire article.
Just subtle.
When describing the KKK members, they have agency, they do things, they have the active voice. When describing the protesters who are initiating the protest and the violence, they are described in the passive voice. They are not responsible for their actions. For example, let's compare a Klansman in handcuffs could be heard telling a police officer that he stabbed him in self-defense. Witnesses said the Klansman used the point of the flagpole as a weapon while fighting them. Then several of the Klan members jumped into the SUV and sped off, leaving the others to fend for themselves. Many people at the park demanded to know why Anaheim police did not have a larger presence before the violence broke out. It just came from nowhere, like an uncontrollable force of nature, like the people committing the violence have no choice in it whatsoever. This is amazing, this bit, right? Martin said a friend of his, who he'd only identified by his nickname Fuzzbuzz, was wounded when one of the clan members began using a flagpole, something active. They switched from something happening to someone to someone doing something to someone, despite the fact the person who's having something happen to them was the one doing something first. And this sentence is amazing. They started pulling out weapons, he said, of the clansmen. One of them had a flag, an American flag with a pointed top. I think that's what got my friend. It's a serious wound. It wasn't like the blood was dripping out of him, it gushed out of him. Well shit, have you considered not trying to beat the shit out of them when they're on the floor, having the shit beaten out of them? I mean, these guys
not
didn't
attacking
you
people
and
for
start
their
the violence.
thoughts?
But
Hold
this
on.
is not. They don't
Are you
go through
a
the
racist?
process and go, what was it like
America?
being beaten on the floor by these
thought it was
protesters? It's
America.
fucking awful. Look, how you're a wounded. You got wounded trying to beat the shit out of a KKK guy. You okay? Can we sympathise with you? I mean, the fact that they beat him is worse than what he thinks. Actions speak louder than words. Hello, is anyone fucking there anymore? Apparently, all could face charges of assault by a deadly weapon, though Wyatt said some people could have a self-defense claim. He did not say if he was referring to the clan members or the protesters. Oh, it could be just as equally either, couldn't it? It absolutely could. It's not that the protesters attacked them, and they therefore might have a self-defense claim. It's that the protesters attacked them, but that's not the protesters' fault. And so the clan attacked, and now the protesters are defending themselves. And then they spend 4 paragraphs telling us how bad the KKK are. You know, and it's like, okay, I agree with you that they're bad, but they didn't attack anyone. They defended themselves. We have the video of it. This is what really advanced propaganda actually looks like. This is the really convincing stuff. Again, I really don't want to defend the Ku Klux Klan. I really don't. I mean, I wouldn't be allowed to be a member of it, I don't think. However, that doesn't mean they shouldn't enjoy the same rights as everyone else. In fact,
Oh my god.
because I
You know that
disagree
video
with
you just
them,
posted?
I have to defend their rights. If
The-
I don't,
the-
I'm
the
not applying
Saturday
my
Night Live
principles
thing?
consistently, and I therefore cannot
Apparently,
call them universal,
that's like one of their
liberal
lowest rating
principles.
episodes
So
for the
no,
entire season.
even the KKK has a right to speak. They organised it. The protesters are 100% in the wrong.
Every now and then they get
And
a
it was
video. That's
because
good.
they instigated violence first. This is my opinion because we have actual examples of what things are like in countries that do not have freedom of speech. We have an example
Well,
from
this country
week.
might be that way soon.
This week, 100,000 people attended a funeral of a Pakistani man who has been executed for murdering a governor. And the governor's crime was that he had been critical of blasphemy laws. The vast gathering on Tuesday centered on the Club Park in wherever, where a succession of clerics had made fiery speeches bitterly condemning the government for giving the go-ahead for Monday's execution of Kadri, a former police bodyguard who became a hero to many of his countrymen after he shot and killed Salman Taseer, the governor of the Punjab province in 2011. Fearing violence, authorities closed schools and beefed up security in both the garrison of the city and neighbouring Islamabad, the capital. Key roads of closed traffic and the red zone near important government buildings were sealed. Many people had travelled from around the country to attend the funeral, and crowds spilled out of the park into adjacent thoroughfare, where throngs crushed around the flower-strewn ambulance that eventually brought Kadri's body to the event. This is fucking nuts. Kadri murdered the guy because of his opinion. He committed a thought crime, and hundreds of thousands of people agree. Hundreds of thousands of people are dismayed he got executed for cold-blooded murder. Because this guy had a different opinion on whether blasphemy should be illegal. Some of the all-male crowd wore I am Kadri signs around their necks, while others held up the front page of the Ummat newspaper for passersby to kiss, which was entirely covered with a photo of his dead and garland body. Many in the crowd were furious to the courts for convicting Kadri, with the governing factor of the Prime Minister's Muslim League for not ordering a presidential pardon, and for the media agreeing to a strict news blackout on the protests. This is grassroots activism in Pakistan. Kadri's supporters believe he was justified in killing Taseer as he left a restaurant in Islamabad in 2011 because he had called for the pardoning of a poor Christian woman who had been convicted under blasphemy laws, which he also condemned. This is in The Guardian. This is The Guardian's reporting on this issue. And if they are being this fucking extreme that The Guardian can't spin it, then you know it must be bad. Seriously, this is a grassroots thing in Pakistan. Social media takes the lead amid unspoken ban on cadre coverage. This is exactly the same as what happened in Cologne. Exactly. Except instead of being annoyed at a cover-up about a bunch of sexual assaults and rapes, instead of that, these people are annoyed that someone who murdered someone for his opinion has been punished. And this comes out on Pakistani social media.
This
Twitter
isn't
trends in
Pakistan, so
also
what
showed
the
a grim
fuck do you
picture with
expect?
5 out of 10 trends either praising Kadri
I mean,
or
live in a
protesting
third
against the
world
government's
shithole.
decision to hang him.
You
Which
live in a
partners
third
support
world
the
shithole.
convicted
What can
killer,
you
the
say?
government has decided not to take any direct action to arrest any of the
Whatever
culprits.
those fucking idiots want to do over there, that's fine. Just don't bring
Not
that garbage
an
here.
unusual opinion in Pakistan. There are probably millions of people who actually believe this. And they know, subconsciously, that freedom of speech would destroy this. If the guy could speak without being punished for blasphemy, then he would be able to change minds. And the more minds that would change, the swifter the reduction of this kind of nonsense would happen. They would end up like they are in the West, a tiny fringe group that literally can get half a dozen people together for a fucking rally, quote unquote. They know this, which is why there are blasphemy laws in Pakistan. And mere criticism of these laws will get you murdered. I think that we are witnessing the same kind of thing happening to the KKK, from people who think they simply should not be allowed to voice their opinion. This is the problem I have with these people attacking the KKK. It's the same that I have with a vigilante attacking the government minister and murdering him because of his opinion. What you are saying is that the other person is committing a thought crime, and it cannot be tolerated, in fact, to the point where other people need to be intimidated enough to prevent them from committing thought crime. Oh, and don't think that this is just in Pakistan. Bradford Imam praises martyr who murdered anti-blasphemy Lord Governor. Fucking hell. But surely he's just a nobody, right? Nope, apparently he's a popular imam and speaker among the Muslim youth in the UK.
Good job, England.
The founder of a registered youth charity that aims to give young people a deeper, more positive awareness of their faith. Oh, I'm so glad to hear that he does charity and interacts with young kids. I was getting worried there for a minute. He told his 100,000 Facebook followers that
I do not know what you're talking about, friend.
A servant of Allah and a lion of Islam, and described him as a guide.
England is not a Muslim training camp. I do not know what you speak of.
I'm not saying we can't let this guy speak. I think we should. I think we in fact have to. Not only are we morally obligated, but if we want to understand what they actually teach, we have to start listening to what they're actually saying. Because that's the thing. You have free speech in one place, and you don't have free speech in another place. And the place without free speech will create people who want to destroy free speech. They will apparently go to other places that have free speech and attempt to undermine it. So the only response we can have is attempt to insert free speech into their culture. And the only way to do that is via discourse. By talking to these people as if they are intelligent, rational adults,
But
as
they
we would
aren't.
want to be spoken to, and explaining why they are wrong. So if you have a problem with us talking about specific people who voice their opinions and have awful opinions, shut up and get out of the way. Because otherwise you are propping up these beliefs. Oh, and the Pope thinks that the Arab invasion,
one's
as he
fucking great.
terms it, is a social fact and a good thing. We can speak today
Thanks,
of an Arab
Pope.
invasion. It is a social fact. The Pontiff said, according to extracts from his address earlier this week, which were
fucking
published
nigger.
by the Vatican newspaper. He added, how many invasions has Europe experienced in the course of its history? But it has always been able to overcome them and move forward, finding itself complement and improved by the cultural exchange that they brought about.
Literally cultural
Seriously,
enrichment.
This is the Pope's words. The Pope saying, well, there's a lot we can benefit from allowing Muslims in. The Christian Pope. Unbelievable. I mean, it's incredible. The cult of diversity supersedes religion.
Oh my god. The Pope's just like, yeah man, just let all the Muslims come in. Fuck it.
That's what's going on here. That's the reason they're trying to bring people in 3 at a time. Through the back door, they're trying to make sure that people have access. But there's only so
That was a
much
dominating
they can do
game
when
by
the
me.
president of this university who shut down
Quick
this
disclaimer, I don't really support everything my friend says. So don't kind of get off of that. This is just me and my friend kind of hanging out and talking. So yeah, don't get all riled up about some of the stuff you hear. We're just really interested in politics and stuff. But thanks for watching.